Welcome to the First Lady Point of View show, everyone. I'm your host, the First Lady Felicia K. This is where you can expect culture, music, news, reviews, fashion, and exclusive interviews. So stick around. We got exclusive coming up that you don't want to miss.
You tuned in. It's the First Lady Point of View. First Lady Point of View. You tuned in. It's the First Lady Point of View. First Lady Point of View. Culture, music, news, reviews. You tuned in. It's the First Lady Point of View. You tuned in.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. We got an exclusive that you definitely don't want to miss today. We got somebody in the building who I think is probably one of the most underrated rappers coming out of Sacramento right now. And his name is none other than Booda Babyy. What's up, Booda?
Hey, how you doing, First Lady?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. I love the setup.
Thank you. Thank you for being on the show, by the way.
Thank you for having me.
I want you to tell everybody where you're from, and then we're going to get into the meat and gravy of it all.
Well, I'm Mr. Southside We Outside himself, you know what I'm saying?
Let them see what
Oh,
the
yeah,
shirt?
yeah, that's one of the brands, that's one of the logos right
Okay.
there. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Southside We Outside himself, Booda Babyy. Southside originated, G Parkway to be exact, but you know, we ain't politicking like that though, but you know, we outside.
Yeah,
we
there it
everywhere
is.
with it.
Okay,
yeah.
now, we're going to talk first. I want to talk to you about, you just went into the Southside We Outside. Okay.
Yeah.
So what exactly is that? Is that the one of, like, just apparel or just kind of like your slogan?
That's just like my slogan, but
Okay.
I turned it into some apparel now because I want everybody to feel the same way I feel when I said it.
I like
Southside,
it.
we outside. We taking it outside of where I'm from, Southside. So,
Okay.
and we going everywhere with it. That's basically what I mean.
Okay.
You know.
Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about, I want to talk about go to work. You knew that was coming, right? I want to talk to you a little bit about it.
Yeah, most definitely.
Let's talk about what made you come up with that concept and how did all of that come about?
Just making money, you know. I was actually working a 9 to 5 when I came up with the song.
Okay.
So, you know, it was just like whether you grinding or you working a 9 to 5 to survive, you know, just live it up and, you know, get that money.
Yeah, that's important though. A lot of artists don't realize that. Some of their favorite artists, right?
Yeah.
They started out working a 9 to 5 in order to fund and put their brand effectively on the map instead of
Right.
just, you know, jumping out there. So I respect that. I respect that a lot. So you come from a background of, I wouldn't necessarily say music so much, but kind of, sort of, right?
Yeah.
You connected.
Yeah,
It's,
well
yeah,
connected.
yeah, like
Yeah.
Legos, right? So I want you to tell me this though, as far as the entertainment aspect,
Okay.
does that run deep as well into your bloodline as well?
Yeah, well, growing up, my mom, she used to sing with Keisha Cole's mom back in like middle school. They went to school together back in Oakland and stuff. So I kind of got that singing melody, music side from her. And then my sister, she helped me write my first rap in like 2nd grade. And then I just started writing myself and got in the studio through my other sister, boyfriend at the time. So it was all within the family, like on some Master P, No Limits type stuff.
Right,
yeah.
right. Okay. So how many siblings do you have?
I got 2 older sisters, and I'm the youngest and only boy.
You're the only boy. That must be interesting. You spoiled?
Somewhat.
Yeah. And you
can
got
say
one
that.
boy as well?
Yeah, I got one boy.
I see you with him all the time, so I want to salute you for that. Because I see you raising him and you putting in the quality time as well.
Yeah.
And he always looks so happy to be with you.
Yeah, he really loves his dad. He really motivates me, though.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
what's up. And you probably motivate him too. You just don't know it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't stay little forever. And little stuff, he gonna tell you one day, you gonna be like, you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He,
So
he
keep
got
that
good
up.
memory.
That's
yeah.
important. So does he show interest in what you do as far as musically?
Yeah, actually, the Go to Work song that I just dropped with Aaron Lee, he actually be singing that song a lot. So
Yeah,
he
see?
lets me know like I got a hit.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah,
That's how I feel.
when the kids love it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So Aaron Lee, how did that come about?
Man, we've been. I actually met him through Charity for real.
Okay,
So,
yeah. Shout out to
but
Charity.
We've been rocking for a minute though. We got like 2 singles out already.
Okay.
So like this the 3rd one to put the icing on the cake, cause he going up right now too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely support it.
So how would you describe your style as an artist? What like did it first off, let me back that up a little bit. Did it take you a minute to establish your style? Or did you just kind of come in like, this is me, this is where I'm gonna stay right here, this is my lane?
I had to find it. I had to find it, you know. Myself, for real. I kind of do some of everything. I kind of want to keep it real life or background related or relatable as possible.
Right,
you know?
right.
Something that the people could feel, because really growing up, I had like my social battery wasn't up, you know?
Yeah.
Like, so that's kind of how I connected or felt like I could communicate or relate to people or people related to me.
Yeah.
Once
And
they
then,
heard
you
my
know,
stuff and they're like, oh, you do that too? Or
do you think it made you come out more as a person, like socially, or do you just only when I'm entertaining and then I could still go back to being an introvert?
It kind of got me out there a little bit more socially, you know, but I still kind of be feeling those introvert ways a little bit.
That's okay though. You'll find that later on in
Virgo,
life,
so,
you'll find later on in life, you'll thank yourself for that. Like you get to be my age, you'll be like, you know what? Yeah, that's a good look. Yeah, but as far as now, let's go back a little bit to how you said as far as working with charity. I want to back that up because you mentioned that's how you got plugged in. Okay, that is how. Well, I heard of you like about 2 years ago, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna be honest, I didn't tap in.
Okay.
Right, until the young lady you just mentioned, Charity Music, was on the show, Miss Charity.
Yeah.
And well, it was before she was on the show. That's how me and her linked. Is I was all like, who put this song together that you on with these young ladies? And she said, Booda Babyy. I'm like, Booda Babyy? She was like, yeah, Booda Babyy. And then she told me all about you and to tap in with you, go check him out. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then I'm like, wait a minute. So I have to admit that I was one of the ones sleeping. I played a part in you being one of the most underrated people coming out of Sacramento, because you are truly talented and your cadence is top tier. I want to tell you that right there. So don't change that lane. So what made you decide to put those ladies together on that? It's not a whole compilation project, is it? It's just the one single?
Nah, just that one song.
Okay, maybe you should, you know.
Yeah. Boy, that's kind of like where I got the Boo Hefner little side of me with my little music and stuff, because I kind of like R&B and stuff too, so I kind of want to show my R&B smooth player side instead of just being turned up and partying all the time. But that's kind of like what brought the song together with the throwback remix with all the ladies, because it was like they would just turn it up with me in the videos, and that's kind of like, that kind of been like a thing for me. Everybody like come have fun and party and dance in my videos. So I'm like, okay, let me get the females really they full time to shine type stuff.
Yeah, but you know what, your music, that's the thing. It's like all of it is up tempo, like it's happy music, like it's fun music, right? I mean, cause y'all talk a little raunchy, but in a good way, right? It's adult, right? But it's fun though. It's fun. It's not. It's not we going to go hit a lick. We not going. You know, it's fun.
Yeah, that's the main thing about my sound. Just trying to have fun.
And that's a good thing. That's a nice change of altitude with the climate that we in right now. It's dying down a little bit with the drill rap, but you need that in there. You need that that breath of fresh air, if you will. Because back in my day, it was more diverse. You had the West Coast with the gangster rap, then you had the conscious rappers on the East, and then you had the Luke Skywalkers, if you will, the Luther Campbells and them down south, right? Yeah. So, and the tip drills with the Nelly, right? Yeah. But then now it's just everybody trying to be like everybody else, and you got that drill. Yeah. So I want to, that's another thing I want to commend you for, is just kind of finding your own little thing and riding that, you know, and maybe everybody else will catch on to that instead of you conforming to what everybody else is doing.
Exactly. That's probably why it's been taking longer, though.
Yeah,
but
I'm underrated. Come on, it take us a minute, but we get there.
Yeah, we gonna get there. We gonna get there.
If I had $1 for everybody that told me if I did more gossipy journalism, I would have already blew up. But I'm comfortable and I like my pace.
Yeah, I like what you're doing.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I like what you're doing
as well. I feel good to be here.
I'm happy you was able to come. You feel nervous a little bit?
A little bit, you know. It's probably the setup. It's probably the setup for me. I'm like, oh, this the real deal.
Oh yeah, it is. But that's okay.
Air different in here. Yeah.
Okay. Well, see, you know, we love that. Yeah. As long as you're comfortable, though. That's all.
Yeah, I'm cool.
Yeah, I just want to make sure you're not nervous.
Nah,
I don't
I'm
want
cool.
you to be nervous.
Nah,
Okay.
I'm cool.
Okay. So what can we expect out of your next project?
Well, just being more better, you know what I'm saying? Just getting better, that's all. I've been pushing the Southside We Outside stuff for a minute, and then I got my Boo Hefner stuff, but that's just like my stuff to bring people together as far as like mixtape stuff goes. So I feel like now I'm about to transition to being more of an album artist. So like they can really feel more of me other than, you know, the stuff I got going to bring people around and,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
my networking type stuff. But
Yeah. But you know, that's how you make the relationships and get the exposure.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna keep that
It's not in
going.
vain. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna keep that going.
Those dots eventually.
I'm just transitioning
Yeah.
to, you know, trying to be more mainstream or radio ready, you know, other than just doing me and just not having no filter, basically.
Yeah. So, what has been your biggest challenge though with this whole process? Because how long you been doing music on a solo tip? You said about 5-6 years, or a little longer than that.
A little longer than that, but like I started like professionally like as a group with my bro DR as the Young Lights. So we've been rocking since we've been dropping videos and projects since we was like 15. I dropped my solo project around the same time too. So it's been kind of going back and forth, you know. But I've been on my solo thing, and I blew up off of one song after like 10 years of a lot of projects and music coming out. So I was like, dang. And it happened to be called My Background Really Go. So yeah, it kind of just went from there.
But you know, that is not uncommon, and it's not a bad thing, right?
Yeah.
You know how many records that happens with? We was talking earlier today before you got here about something totally different, about all the major names, major players in the industry right now that came out of Sacramento. And some of them people don't even know that they're from Sacramento, whether it's a situation they don't mention it as much, or when people hear Sacramento, you kind of like tune out, right? Because you don't expect to hear greatness like that, right? Coming out of Sacramento. And one of the gentlemen from Sacramento we were talking about reminds me of yourself. And we got on that topic a little bit. Well, we got on that person's name a little bit today. And that's OMB Peasy, right? And a lot of people don't know that he's originally from Sacramento.
Well, he definitely stayed out here.
See, you know that.
I heard about him way before he
before he blew. So now,
this
is the thing. Look at that song, Lay Down, right?
Yeah.
That song is, I know when we first got a hold of that record and premiered it, it was 8 years ago with Nerve DJ. That song just now charted on Billboard at number 2. It came in with a remix with Glorilla on it.
Yeah.
So I said that to say to you, don't get discouraged because your song that's getting the motion is 8, 9, 10 years old. Sometimes it just be that way, you know?
Everything.
Yeah, so don't get discouraged about that. Just wait it out, and if it's getting you some motion, start looking for who you gonna put on the remix right now. You know, look at it like that, right? All right, so we're gonna get ready to go on a break, and we're gonna come back, and we're gonna get a little bit more into, you know, what you got going on, and what they can expect of you, and all of that good stuff, all right?
All right, most definitely.
All right, so you guys, stick around. We'll be right back with Sacramento's very own Booda Babyy. We're gonna talk a little bit more about what you can expect from him in 2025 after this break.
Culture, music, news, reviews. You tuned in.
I debate all day. It's what I do. But there are some things that are undebatable, like your mental health, my own mental health. I was in a dark place when my brother passed away in a car accident. I've never been more devastated than the day I lost my mom. I was depressed, miserable, in ways I never imagined. I reached out, and my sisters came, my pastor, my therapist. They helped me get through it. I found that the more I spoke up, the healthier my mind became. The chaos that was in me began to subside. I was more focused, clear. When you love your mind, you can go so much further. That's not up for debate. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org.
right, you guys, welcome back to the show. We got none other than Southside, Mr. Southside We Outside, Booda Babyy in the building today. And you know what, I'm gonna put this out there. We transparent. I asked him, was he nervous? Y'all heard me ask him that during the segment. So he said, no, he's not nervous. You know, he just wanna make sure, you know, he giving y'all what y'all want. And I think that he's doing that. He's giving it to me. So I hope you guys are enjoying the show as well, all right? So we're gonna just, you know, get right back into it. Right. So now, what moment throughout your process did you feel like, or when did you feel like, you know what, this is what I'm supposed to do? I'm supposed to be doing music.
When did I feel like that? Really, after I blew up for real off my little solo song. Because it was like, I was pushing for so long, it was like, all right, when something gonna pop, and then that just popped, like out of nowhere, but then it was like on some, my background really goes, so it kind of made me feel like everything that I've been doing up until that time was worth it.
It was worth it.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel.
And sometimes it just take a minute for everybody else to catch on.
Yeah.
Me personally, I feel like we do things right in life and it's trial and error, but I feel like somewhere along the line, you kind of know when something is not for you, right?
Yeah.
You just know. You feel it like this. Like we all get discouraged throughout our process, through our journey, the path that we're set on. But that is different, being discouraged here and there, than feeling like, you know, you ain't got no business doing this.
Right.
So if you don't feel that, you know, just keep going. That's always the goal, is to just make it to the finish line.
Yeah, what don't kill you make you stronger. So I
yeah,
feel
that's
like,
it. That's it. See,
I'm
that's the way to look at it.
and
So what has been, you said that it's been your most rewarding process, right? As far as the song that you feel like all this time, that song made you feel like everything was worth it. That you would say that is your most rewarding thing, is that aspect of it, that song finally taking off.
Yeah, like I got to see more than what was already in front of me, basically. Like I'm starting to get calls and all types of stuff and bookings and all
I love that for
stuff.
you.
So, yeah.
I love that for you. Okay, so now we got to be realistic with people, right? What was your biggest disappointment throughout your process as an artist so far? Something that you felt like, man, that disappointed me, or that hurt me, or I wish I could do that different, or that didn't happen?
Really just learning the business part of everything as soon as I should have, you know, because I was doing it before I was even 18, so it was just more like a fun thing, just me doing what I love to do type stuff. So
figuring it out.
Yeah, so, and it was like I really had to figure it out on my own for real, so I feel like I'm still learning a little bit every day, or I'm learning something new every day, but I'm progressing.
Yeah, there it is. So you feel like that's the one thing that you feel like you would have done different, is learn the business part sooner?
Sooner, yeah.
I respect that. Most people don't, though, so don't beat yourself up too bad. But I respect that you realize that that's something that.
Nah, that's big. It's big.
Absolutely.
You'll be missing out on a lot of, you know,
and
money.
You know, a lot of people, you think that people, well, you should know better, because if you watch music or you listen to music or you hear everybody's stories from back in the day, but that don't mean nothing until they're in your position, right? That sound good to say, well, that person's stupid. They should know better, because that people been saying for 1,000 years, don't sign a 360, or don't do this, or learn this, learn that. That's easier said than done when you're doing something like you said, because I liked it. I enjoyed it. I was having fun. You don't really think about that, right? So yeah, it's okay. You learning now. Has it been challenging though, diving into the business aspect?
Yeah, it has.
Right,
It has.
I bet.
That's why I said I'm learning something new every day.
Yeah. Do you have a mentor?
You know, I look up to Big Bro KD, you know, because we started with the SMG and the Young Life and stuff, you know. And, then he transitioned that to Treat Boy, and his clothing business is booming, you know, so.
So the Young Life, who was all a part of that? Let's tap into that a little bit, since you mentioned it.
That was me, DR, he go by Drelly, and Smelly Bo, well, he go by Exquisite now.
Okay.
He's pretty viral online and stuff, you know, him and his girl and kids and stuff. He does, and it was really just us three. We also had what do you go? Big Dion. He go by Big Dion now.
Okay.
So, but otherwise, it was mainly started off with just me and DR, and then we expanded and stuff. But we was the main faces.
Okay. So you're independent now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you do your own distribution or?
Yeah, I be going through the.
No, you don't gotta give them
Yeah,
all of that,
yeah,
but you do
yeah.
your own distribution.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. There ain't nothing wrong with that, King. That's not a bad thing. You had a little reserve when you said that. That's not a bad thing. You know why? It's all your money.
Yeah.
You
I'm
good.
collecting.
Yeah.
I'm for sure collecting.
Yeah. So that's all good. Where do you want to see your music career? What does 5 years from now look like for Booda Babyy?
Well, a tour out the country, like, elevation, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That type of stuff.
Yeah.
Showing my son something better, you know what I'm saying?
You said you want to tap into R&B. Do you see more of that in your future as well?
Yeah, I do. I've been working on my vocals a little bit.
Okay, look at you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
What is your top 5 dead or alive?
My
It don't gotta
top
be in
5
order. Just
artists? Or,
yeah,
okay.
artists. We're gonna do both. We're gonna do rap. Since you tapped into R&B, I want you to do
Okay.
hip hop, rap, and then you'll do 5 R&B.
All right.
Don't gotta be in order. Just okay.
Top
That's 5
5?
hip hop. Yeah.
All right. I like Tupac. I like Mac Dre. I like Lil Wayne. I like Kendrick Lamar and Drake, I say, or
They both cool.
You feel me? 'Cause Drake do the singing rap and
Yeah,
then
yeah, they both
Kendrick
offer
Lamar,
something
he a
different. I
little
like Roddy
more-
Ricch though for singing rap, but I'm
Yeah.
West Coast though. I
Yeah.
love Drake. I mean, I did. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be candid with you. My only thing with Drake that throughout this whole process that messed with me, and I'm just gonna put it out there. I never said this publicly. We talk about this on my job with Nerve DJs and in my house. Is when he said he rapping like he trying to free the slaves. I did not like that. Something about that is cringe to me. And then when I hear other people that look like us repeat that, that is just like, what
that's
you mean?
deep. Yeah. That's
And
deep.
I could tell I just made you think about that. I didn't mean to go
that's
deep for you. I'm just saying, because I don't want people to think that I'm one of them people. I work in music. I used to love Drake, and I still play his music on the radio. But that, I get it's a battle or whatever, but that wasn't a battle quote. That wasn't a general quote.
And I actually
certain
say,
stuff,
like between they battle, I rock with Kendrick, you feel me, over Drake,
Yeah, absolutely. That was an easy call, but
yeah.
that was the only thing is I'm like, no, it wasn't that I was automatically West Coast. It was because I felt like, if I'm being honest, I felt like the first 2 rounds it was looking like he had it. But when he said that, I was all like, oh yeah, you done. Because now you finna strike something else in a conscious rapper. That's gonna make him go all the way left. And that's exactly
And
what
that's what he
he
did.
did. That's what he did.
Yeah,
so
he
you
went
feel
off.
me?
Yeah.
All right, now, your top 5 R&B artists, dead or alive,
R&B
it don't
artists,
matter.
that was a little harder though,
Yeah.
because I ain't really got too many. I listened to Michael Jackson, I don't know.
That's good. Rock with you, off the wall. Yeah.
What else? Trying to think. T-Pain was hard when he came out. You know what I'm saying? With the auto-tune stuff.
But he could,
made me feel like I could sing.
But no, did you know he could sing like top tier, stellar without auto-tunes? Once I heard him sing for real and found that out, I was appalled that you're using auto-tune. He could sing for real.
Yeah, I guess that was just his little niche or
Yeah,
something
no,
at the
it
time,
made sense at the time because he said he looked up to Roger Troutman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that, that was, and Teddy Riley, you think that that's what they did. But who would you be your other?
Let me see, who else? Chris Brown, pretty hard.
No girls, no women?
Nah, I'm trying to think. I like Beyonce, I grew up listening to her. Who else? Mary J. Blige.
Come on. Get it crunk up in this dancery.
Yeah.
One more. Give me one more.
One more?
I'm gonna make you give me one more female just based on the
more
strength you have to
female.
struggle. You gotta give us one more.
One more female. Dang. That was damn near it right
No,
there.
no.
Keisha Cole.
There you go. I knew that was coming. Come on. All right, we'll take it. All right, so I want you to tell everybody what project you're pushing right now and how they can get that project, get their hands on it, or where they can find the video.
Okay, well, I just dropped Go to Work, feature Aaron Lee, produced by Kid Knox. I'm just dropping singles right now, but I will be dropping Boo Hefner Volume 2 mixtape, and I'll be dropping the Southside We Outside Volume 2 mixtape as well.
All right,
and while I transition to my album, I'll be dropping singles.
So how many mixtapes do you got out right now?
I got like 4, about 4 solo ones, and then about like 3-4 group ones with the Young Lives when we started. So.
Okay, that's important because I want them to know when people watch this, I want them to know where they could get in, tapped in with the music, because when they listen to one record, right, they're gonna be like, where do we find the rest?
Yeah, they gotta hear the whole background.
So tell them your social sites. Look, find where we got lights right there. This one right here with the red light. Find it and tell them where they could get. They could follow you on all your platforms and how they can get tapped in with your music. Okay.
Yeah, man, it's Booda Babyy. Follow me on Instagram at The Real Booda Babyy. Follow me on Facebook at Booda Babyy. I'm on YouTube under Booda Babyy. I'm on all platforms under Booda Babyy. Booda Baby with 2 Y's. Southside We Outside, you'll find me under that too.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm on everything. Tap in with me.
All right. Now, last question before we wrap it up. It's been a pleasure. I thank you for coming, but I want you to tell me, who is your dream collaboration as far as an artist and or a producer?
Okay, dream collaboration. Dream collaboration. Dang. I really just I want to get in the dough and work with the first one that come. You feel me?
Good answer. Good answer.
I ain't tripping.
You ain't beggars, ain't choosers, right? There you go. That's
we
leave
gonna
your
win.
options open. We gonna win.
We all gonna eat.
I love that, man. I love that. I want to thank you once again for stopping by the show. We're gonna wrap it up. See, I told you just relax,
Thank you
man.
For having me.
Oh man, I appreciate it. My pleasure. Is this your first television interview?
Yeah, it is.
You did great. You did great.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Oh man, I hope you guys enjoyed this show. I sure did. I enjoyed my guest today. Make sure you guys tap in with Booda Babyy, and that's baby with 2 Y's. All right. That's Booda Babyy. Booda Babyy. Tap in with him on all the social platforms. Look for his music. Go to Work is what he's pushing right now. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. But until next time, reach back for those that are coming up behind you and pay homage to those who did it before you. It's free and you'll feel good about yourself. We out of here. Peace, one love. May God bless your hustle.
You tuned in. The First Lady point of view. First Lady point of view. You tuned in. The First Lady point of view. First Lady point of view. Culture, music, news, reviews. You tuned in. It's the First Lady point of view. You tuned in. First Lady point of view. You tuned in. It's the First Lady point of view. First Lady point of view. Culture, music, news, reviews. You tuned in. It's the First Lady point of view. You